because I'm with you through thick and thin. Whatever trouble you are in, I don't care whatever you do. Just know that I love you. Oh, whoa. Oh, I love you.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Smokin Joe Show. Welcome back if you are a long time or second time or eighth time viewer. But if this is your first Smokin Joe Show, big welcome to you. Make sure to give a like to the Parallax page to be alerted when we go live. We do this every Thursday, almost every Thursday, right here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's 2 a.m. in France, which is where our guest, Kerri Joy, is right now. She is in Brittany, or Bretagne, which is in France. My French accent is terrible, but we are going to be hearing all about what she's been up to. We're in bands together. We've hung out together. We've gone on tours together. Kerri and I are very close. And I thought, hey, why don't we do an awesome big check-in with her? And she'll be hopping on the show in just a minute after my spiels. Of course, my spiels. Let's see. Last week we had Bryce to it. Of Psychotropic Sounds, as well as Confuciusaurus, and he was talking about all the new music and his new studio he's recording in. Really awesome stuff. Make sure if you're enjoying the show, if you enjoy the show, you are welcome to give us money. It is a free service, but we will take it. Parallax is not free, but it is a blast to do, so we like to spread the content love. Make sure to subscribe and share this event and other events as they happen. If you're watching on Facebook, just know that we only show the first bit of the show on Facebook, and then to catch the whole thing and interact with me, yours truly, make sure to go to the Parallax page on Crowdcast. That is right. Our sponsors, they're beautiful, they're wonderful, we love them. Shadow Wick Creations, our longest running sponsor, and they're candles. Specific candles for moods, ideas, trying to channel energy. They got tons of cool stuff. They even have an exclusive Galactic Get Down candle collection. You can buy a candle and the proceeds go to the festival. As a lot of you know, we are recouping from a couple years of craziness, losses, madness here in the festival throwing world. So hey, buy a candle, help them, help us, help yourself. Light a candle, smells good. I suggest it. Cambo sounds like candle, but it is not. It is delicious, delicious Cambodian Asian fusion style cuisine found in Big Lake, Minnesota. You used to be able to get it at music festivals, but they have hunkered down at a home base in Big Lake, Minnesota. I will have lots more to say about Cambo Flair, but if you have not tried them or you are not familiar, make sure to check them out and eat their food. It's worth the drive, Minneapolis. It's worth the drive. Get out of town. Go get some Cambo. And if you'd like to join our team of sponsors, just let myself or John, Parallax, Vicarious Vision, Smokin Joe, you can send a message to Dead Larry. I'll eventually get it, and we would love to have you as a sponsor on our show. I will say nice things about you, and we can work out the details later. It's just friends helping friends around here. Speaking of friends helping friends, I have a small but mighty crew of patrons on my Patreon. I want to say thank you so much for subscribing to me monthly. I'm trying to drop as many demos and as much information on you as I can, as I'm allowed to. I just started a new position with a new company with the Useful Crew, and I'm going to see how much of that information I'm allowed to share. But I'm telling you, I'm trying to get info out and provide some quality content for my super fans. They tell me if they like the songs, which ones are their favorites. I just anything I'm making at any time, I'm just like, hey, Patreon, check this out. Subscriptions start at $5, or you can spend $500 a month if you want. I got a tier for that. Seems like music is starting to kind of almost make a comeback. There's a few extra things going on at the Weekend Get Down this week, getting down around town.
Gonna stay up late, gonna hit the town. You did. Pick your booty up, oh yeah, and shake it all around. It's the Weekend Get Down.
All right, Weekend Get Down. Extended version. I was like, oh no, I hope that isn't like the 8-minute version. I can't dance that long. Actually, though, Dancing is great cardio, and I found myself just kind of dancing earlier today. I was like, I feel like I need to exercise, and I'm stuck in my apartment, so I just put on some tunes and started dancing, and felt great. Felt great. So I encourage y'all to move your bodies around, get off the couch, put that donut down. What's going on around town? Presented by Kind Jams Minnesota. Thank you, Steve, for all your support of the music scene. What is this? Oh, this Saturday, it's me. That's right, little old me. I'm playing a set at Cambo Flair from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. There are 3 ways to catch this show and all the shows at Cambo. You can attend. It's a small dining room, so capacity is super limited, 20 maybe maximum, and we've never even gotten that full since the grand opening, especially with the weather. But come on down, wear your mask, eat some food. You can do the drive-through and listen to the show on your FM radio in your car, or you can tune in right here on Parallax TV on Saturday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I am going to be unveiling some new songs. I'm going to be playing some songs off my upcoming albums. That's right. If you're a part of my Patreon, you know all about my new albums. That's plural. And just kind of getting used to this live electronic thing I'm meshing into my folkiness. So tune in for that. I'm excited for it. And then let's see. Next Saturday, we have Daryl Peterson. Brand new name and brand new face to me, but I'm excited to meet him and more folks up in the Big Lake. That is also 6 to 9 at Cambo. Same deal. And then at the end of this month, the last Saturday this month, we have Allure, also known as Elizabeth Gondor, and a small crew of musicians, a drummer, and actually me playing bass for this set. So I'm excited to go back to Cambo every Saturday. I feel like I'm getting a tummy just to the sheer volume of food I eat while I'm at Cambo. It's delicious, and I don't just say that lightly. Next month, Confuciusaurus is releasing an EP, and Iron Star and Sipel are going to be there to celebrate. Sounds like a fam jam to me. The show starts around 7, March 19th. That's right, Friday, March 19th, right here on Parallax TV. I believe, John, we're streaming from Psychotropic. That would make sense?
Yeah, I believe so. We're still open. If there's any venue owners out there that are looking to help jumpstart after this recent winter shutdown, we're always looking for venues too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Psychotropic is also an option.
For sure. So we'll be somewhere streaming some music. We're all going with the punches. It's kind of a you first. How are we going to do this sort of thing? I have people approaching me for some really cool events though. So we have lots of stuff in the works. So things will happen this summer and spring. I promise.
And we don't have any loss of studios to do live streams from. So there's no loss of location, but we're always looking for more.
Right. For sure. We're looking to be where you are and connect with your friends, basically. Because we're music people, and music is great, but it's even better when people listen to it. This summer, we just announced this, and I just announced my further involvement. I took a position, as I said, with Groove Productions. That's the Useful Jenkins team and their manager. They have a company, Groove Productions, that will be putting on events at Harmony Park, and I have taken on the job for them, running the street team and coordinating the merchandise on and off site the festival. I'm very excited to do this. It's stuff that's right in my wheelhouse. It's kind of nice not to be the boss for once. So I'm super stoked about that. But also I wanted to put out the word, hey, you want a street team? It's going to be some pretty serious street team business. I'm going to be on your butt about it. But if you want to do it, hit me up. I will have forms to fill out and things like that to get prepared very shortly. I'm very excited to do this and just be a part of music at Harmony Park. The continued evolution that is music at Harmony Park. I've been going to Harmony Park for, a little while, 10, 11, 12 years or so. And it's a really special place, but it does continue to change every year. Different people run the show, different things happen, bands go up, bands go down. So it's been fun to watch, and I'm most excited about this newest evolution coming to fruition. And my segue into the first video of the night happens to be at Harmony Park. That is right. Harmony Park Music Garden from 2016 revival, which I believe was a Wookiee Foot revival, if I'm not mistaken. And Smokin Joe is on the main stage, and this was a time when we had this 7-piece, I believe.
Who signed your check that year?
Oh, man. Check? We get checks? You still waiting for that? No, we get paid sometimes. And And let's see, I think it was probably Wookie Foot. Yeah. So it was a good time, good set. Kerri Joy absolutely killed it. Is this the set, John, I'm trying to remember what we were all wearing. Is this the one where Max showed up in the middle of the very first song? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so. It was a very hot day.
Yeah.
And you, as you'll see here shortly, had like the Smokin Joeyest of sets. Like there were probably 7 people in your band that day.
So it's like the super group, like because there was a time where Smokin Joe. I mean, it does vary quite a bit, but there's a 7-piece that is John Hanson, Ned Barclay, Olivia, Max, Kerri, me. Who am I?
This was
Bobby.
like the last big Smokin Joe show before you started working on Iron Star. Like this
maybe so. It's 2016 though. I don't think I knew what I was doing. I was still drinking, so that's probably why I don't fucking remember. Anyway, without further ado, this is "We Were Pirates" from Revival 2016 with my special guest tonight, Kerri Joy.
Let's check it out.
Rocking chair where Grandma used to sit and
And we're back. That's right. If you're just tuning in, this is the Smokin Joe Show, and my guest is here, Kerri Joy. Kerri Joy, hi. How are you? How are you doing?
Hello. It's nice to see you all.
It's lovely to see you.
Actually, it's good to see you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Don?
No, it made perfect sense. I was like, because really right now it's, normally finding guests is super easy. It's whoever we're working with at the time, but with like slow shows, I'm like, so who's doing stuff and who do I want to talk to? Who's interesting right now? And I was like, well, Kerri had a huge move. You did a bunch of stuff. We have a great history. I was like, we'll do this because it hasn't happened yet. It was a perfect time.
And we've been talking about doing this for a while now, so this works out perfectly, actually.
Oh,
I have big news.
Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff, big stuff. I even put a little extra elbow grease into this episode. We have lots of stuff coming up, but before we get there to our big interview section and musical portion, we like to play games. We like to break the ice. Usually it's because I don't know my guest really at all. I do happen to know you, but I don't know you that well. We're playing an old game here on the show called Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire, or how John recently just named it what it is. One truth, one lie, and two interrogations. That's right. So we all, John, Kerri, and myself, we all come up with two things. One is true, one is not true. We say each thing to the group, and then the people who aren't it that time ask questions for 60 seconds, and at the end of that 60 seconds, we decide which is true, which is not true. Now,
you didn't tell me that part. Okay.
Well,
let's do it.
We're getting genuine reactions here on the Smokin Joe Show. Must I remind everyone, we played a game where we made Mae Simpson eat an olive, somewhat against her will, not against her will, but she does not like olives, and that was pure gold. So the best things are unscripted here on the Smokin Joe Show. But since I didn't tell you, you can choose who goes first, yourself, me, or John. It obviously does not have to be you if you want a little bit of thinking time.
Let's have John go first.
All right. John and I have a tough time tricking each other because we've played this game about a dozen times now, and it's like John knows all my secrets, basically.
All right. So, my two stories for this evening. Once I rode a tricycle from Wabasha, Minnesota to Kellogg, Minnesota. And once I met Prince at the Minneapolis airport.
Do we have a clock today or no?
We do. Let me go ahead and get that clock started. We'll start that clock now.
All right, John. What were the two cities again that you biked?
I rode a tricycle from Wabasha, Minnesota to Kellogg.
Okay. What season was it?
Oh, I think it was fall.
How old were you?
First grade.
Got any questions, Kerri?
What were you wearing that day?
Oh, I have no idea. That was
It was a long time
first
ago.
grade was a long time ago.
All right, when you met Prince, did you talk to him? Like, what did you say? How'd that go?
We chased him down through the airport, and because he was riding one of those fancy golf carts that
How
rich
did you
people
see
get
him?
to,
How did you see him over all the tall people?
with our eyes. But we didn't get to talk to him because when we finally caught up to him, he was getting right to like the entrance to the airplane, and then he was kind of shooing people away.
Yeah, kind soul, Prince was, but still a person.
Yeah, that's 60 seconds.
All right.
So what happens now?
Now you each guess which one you think is true,
Kerri, you and
and
I
which
each
one is the
decide.
lie.
And then if we get it right, we get a point. We don't keep score. Our score is about as relevant as whose line is it anyway.
Yeah.
Points are made up, and it doesn't matter. So you win. Let's see. I think that the tricycle's true, and I don't know how far apart those towns are.
That would have been a good question, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Prince.
Gonna go with Prince. So she thinks Prince is true. We're hedging our bets here with what's true.
The truth was that when I was in first grade, I rode my tricycle from Wabasha to Kellogg, which was about 5 miles. I rode my tricycle right down the side of the highway, and my parents were quite furious when they found out about it. I didn't meet Prince at the Minneapolis airport. I did meet Warren Moon, who isn't nearly as exciting, but he was just as not friendly.
Do you know who Warren Moon is, Kerri?
He used to be a quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
There was a parody song about him when he was the quarterback that they used to sing, Warren Moon, Warren Moon, Warren Moon. Like the Mary Moon song.
Like the Mary Mo?
I come from Montana, so...
She's a vegetarian.
Right, that song.
She don't eat meat, but she sure likes the bone. Yeah, dude. First time I heard the lyrics of that song, it's really catchy and fun, and you're like, oh, this song is filthy. Anyway, Kerri, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go next?
I'll go ahead and go for it next.
Last is definitely worse, so you picked right.
Okay, so my 2 stories. I am a certified scuba instructor. Scuba.
It's like
scuba.
Scuba is short for... Anyway, I'll ask you. Go on.
And I have never broken a bone in my body.
All right, we get 60 seconds on the clock to see if we can figure this out.
Our time starts now.
Starts now. Scuba. What does scuba stand for?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Right. Yeah, it was a long time ago. John, you got any questions?
Yeah. How old were you when you learned how to scuba?
There you go.
I was 13.
Where did you live then?
I lived in Montana, but we were, I was with my family, and we were hanging out in Hawaii.
So you learned how to scuba dive good enough to be an instructor while you lived in Montana. Okay, go ahead, Joe.
All right.
Also, there's an excellent scuba school in Montana.
Montana's hip. Montana's cool. I love Montana.
Some of it there.
Well, western Montana. Anyway.
Yeah, western Montana.
Western, northern. Anyway, there's like a oval. I think we're out of time, but there's an oval of Montana that is my jam. The rest, I mean, I'm not saying the rest of it is bad by any means, but like.
No.
From Bozeman, Missoula, Lolo, all the way up to Kalispell, which is where you're from, and then why am I blanking on that town I played in a bunch of times? Whitefish.
Yeah.
Love Whitefish. You feel fancy just walking into Whitefish. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure you were doing scuba.
Yeah. I'm gonna put like 25 seconds back on the timer here.
Can you do that?
I can do that, and I'm going to, because you're supposed to be asking questions, not having Montana throwback chat over here.
But I feel like I'm ready to guess. I have no more questions.
Well, we got to ask at least one question about what was even the other line?
She's never broken a bone.
You never broken
a bone in my body.
Oh, I guess there's not.
Have you ever broken a bone in anyone else's body?
No.
Yeah, I guess there's not many questions to ask about that, is there?
I just feel I know.
Okay. I think the scuba diving thing is quite suspicious from Montana.
So.
Like, maybe you learned how to scuba dive, but I don't know about good enough to be an instructor.
I feel like
you would be correct. However, if I had more time to think about my backing up my story, because I didn't know there was going to be questions, there is actually excellent scuba instructor school that runs out of the Flathead Valley, out of Kalispell and Whitefish.
Although honestly, despite my genius question, the whole point of this game is that if you're not good at it, you're just not a good liar, and that's wonderful.
I'm not a good liar at all.
So now we all know that. So that's a good thing. It's like when people are really good at this game, like myself or John, like it's like, should I trust that guy still? Because that was really easy for him to lie. But at the same time, I didn't prepare my response either. Poke holes in this one, if you will. Are you ready?
All right.
Here we go. Liar, liar. Here we go. I once owned 4 ferrets, Boogie, Thundercleese, Newton, and the youngest and craziest was named Mick Jagger. I got them in my teens, but I gave them away by my early 20s to some good ferret-owning friends.
Wow, that's very detailed.
Yep. I decided to go ultra detailed this week because last time I was so terrible at this. All right, next one. I once owned a gerbil named Graham Cracker, and his death was my first real mortal experience. We buried him in the backyard next to all my sister's fucking mice. There were a lot. And I'm ready. Gerbil, Graham Cracker, ferrets.
All right, so let's start the timer now. Go ahead, Kerri.
I don't know anything about either of those animals except for that ferrets like bounce around and are super cute.
Ferrets
so I'm
are
not
crazy.
exactly sure what questions to ask. Do you have any questions, John?
The one part I guess that confused me about the gerbil was that your first experience with death ended with your gerbil being buried next to your sister's fucking mice.
Sister's fucking mice.
Which tells me that you didn't, number one, didn't like your sister's mice, and number two, that they were already dead before your gerbil, so that couldn't have been your first experience with death.
It just didn't.
And I think that I've heard you talk about ferrets before, therefore, before the time even runs out, I'm going to say that the gerbil's a lie.
All right.
I'm going to say that too because I'm pretty sure that I've heard you talk about ferrets before.
All right. Now to answer your sort of question. Yeah, I mean, things had died. Like, I'd seen dead birds or, like, deer hit on the highway or whatever. But Graham Cracker very truly was my first real, more like the first. I was like, oh my God, death. Like this, it was live and it's dead, and I loved it, and now it's gone. Like, that was the first time that ever happened to me, and it was crazy. And my sister did have so many mice. Mice would not stop having sex and babies. And I hated them. I did not care that they died, and I never buried. There's like mice, and then my gerbils.
Well, that's a good explanation.
Okay,
At least.
That's true. But the ferrets, I did own ferrets. I had 3 ferrets, not 4, and their names were way off.
I was gonna say, you're gonna trip us up with something here, like someone else had ferrets.
The jam was in the details, as I kind of sniffed early on, because Joe doesn't normally throw that many details into these things.
No, because usually I'd make him like 10 minutes before we started.
I remember ferret stories.
Dude, ferrets are crazy. In the pet store, they drug them, so like they're like calmer. And then when you take them home and they wake up and they're like, oh my God, I'm a ferret, and life is a game. And they fit everywhere. Like, there's a wonderful pet if you commit the time and the energy. Like, if you don't have it's like, it's not a cat. It's like way even more high maintenance than a dog. Like, you have to like really.
I got my first ferret when I was like a 27-year-old single dude who was just hanging out at home most of the time anyways. And so the ferret was like someone to make me laugh. And I really liked it so much that I ended up getting 2 more of them.
Yeah, dude, they're great. Telling people to ask you questions. People are welcome to put ask a question down at the ask a question part. If you want to ask Kerri a question in the crowdcast, you can ask a question, and I will get to that in the interview. Cool. Well, that was Liar Liar Pants on Fire, and
I think I lost.
I finally beat John. I feel like I won. Personally, I feel like I had a good game. After many losses on the Smokin Joe Show, I keep losing over and over. Although when I don't play, I don't lose, I guess, right? When we have like, I miss the days when we can have in-person like sportier ones with candy.
Yeah, I miss like that was one of the really cool things when we were in the TV studio, is because we had the space that we could really do fun stuff like fruit ball and magic carpet races and stuff like that. And someday soon we'll get there. Let's see. Okay, so we're moving on to our second music video of the night, and it is a connection to Kerri in a really cool way. I asked her, like, hey, do you have any regional, local, cool music that you want to play a video of? It doesn't have to be you, it could be your friends. And she gave us this video by Terabyte. The song's called Pleasure Center.
Can I tell
us
the background there a little bit?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna I'll let you do it.
So growing up, I had a really wonderful good friend, Tara Merritz, and still have. And we had a girl band together. Tara has always been an incredible songwriter, and so yeah, we had this girl band when I was when we were like 13 to 15, I think, something like that. Anyway, she is now living in California, and she is a producer, and she is bad ass. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Yeah, you can swear. I swear a lot. Just our rule
She's
is,
a badass.
the rule is like, she's a badass. That shit's awesome. That's fucking cool. All good. But as soon as you start swearing at someone or in a negative way that like makes us feel icky, then it's out. Like then I'll call people out. But if you're just like swearing to accentuate points, like that's the future of language, y'all.
Excellent. Well, she is a badass, and so my mind went to her and wanting to give her props for what she's been working on and what she's been doing. So
it was great. It aligned right with me. I've been making a lot more electronic music lately, and I was like listening to it. I'm like, this is awesome. So it was really cool. Check out this song, Terabyte. The song is called Pleasure Center.
yeah.
Saw you on the news last night. A black hole with a fire ring that swallows everything. Thought this was finite. When I sense a change, when you look at me, when the temperatures rise, I can't stay. Really hard to be on my way. Ooh. God is fake, and so are you. And sometimes I try to convince myself it's not true. LA's burning down to the ground. Just got to the pinnacle, like snowballing downtown. Last night I couldn't take my eyes off the Pleasure center, make it better. Stand apart and stand together. Wasting all my time on you. Wasted time without you too. You could never look back, 'cause I'm greener than grass. Get your shit together, 'cause it happening fast. Never wasted time on you. Pleasure center, could you come and could you please come through? Pleasure center, could you please call me? Could you please come through? Pleasure center, could you please call me? Could you please come through? Last night I couldn't take my eyes off the glow. Make it better, set apart and set together. Wasted all my time on you. Wasted time without you too. You could never look back, 'cause I'm greener than grass. Get your shit together, 'cause it happened fast. Never wasted time on precious and a could you call me, could you please come through? Measures center, make it better. Side apart and side together. Wasted all my time on you. Wasted time without you too. You could never look back, 'cause I'm greener than grass. Take our shit together, 'cause it happened in fast. Never wasted time on you. Pleasures in a could you call me, could you please come through?
And we are back. That's right, we are back. I am Smokin Joe, your happy host here with Kerri Joy is my guest. She is phoning in all the way from Brittany, if in American, but like Bretagne.
Bretagne. And I don't even think that I pronounced that very well. Like, that's one of the tricky ones for me. Bretagne.
Obviously, your French must be pretty good if you're living in France. Not that people don't speak English, but I feel like you're a cultured lady.
It's okay. The confinement has been really hard because we're very limited with our socializing, obviously. And me and Quentin, we only speak English around the house. Like, there are days when I try and get him to just speak French with me, but 10 minutes later.
In a relationship, though, especially, especially close quarters, the way we've been, whatever language everyone can express themselves correctly in. You know what I mean? You don't want to be upset and be like, I don't know how to express it. Anyway, before we get into this, which we will, I like to go back in time, to young Kerri, the innocent youth, and learn about you then. We do have some pictures. I know if John, you want to pop up some kid pics, but where'd you grow up and what was it like there?
I grew up in Northwest Montana, very close to the Canadian border. If you've never been out that way, kind of sandwiched between the Idaho border and the Rocky Mountains, and then the Canadian border. Beautiful place to grow up. So I spent a lot of time with my family in the mountains, hiking, biking, fly fishing. I learned to fly fish when I was 8 years old. My grandpa made me my first rod. And
fly fishing's hard.
It is, but I love it so much.
That's good. You got to start young.
Yeah. Speaking of starting young, like my family was, I wouldn't say extremely musical. My dad played guitar and sang a lot. My mom liked to sing too, but we always had music going around the house.
So that's like leading into my next, and one of my favorite questions is like, what got you into music? So there's pretty much wasn't a time without music, if you had your family singing and playing.
Yeah. And it was a huge variety too. I mean, we were listening to equal parts classical, country,
and Western.
Was country Western, yeah.
Country and Western, both kinds.
Yes.
What about like hip hop and the 90s stuff? Did that all seep in Montana? Were you sheltered from any of like the harder stuff from that era? There were a lot of things that since my family didn't listen to those, like it took me a while longer to get into some different genres. Like even
I still don't listen to a lot of like metal or hip hop, but I got more into that as I got older. So far. But it was mostly folk. It was folk stuff, world music. I always really was drawn to music from other parts of the world. But a lot of it was my dad. He would.
That's awesome.
Like, I would be, in the bathtub as a little kid, and he'd be strumming guitar and singing John Denver songs to me, and I don't know. It was so I was.
That's so Montana. You got like
I know.
John Denver and acoustic guitars and folk music. I mean, that's
Absolutely. And I never kind of rebelled against that. I never got to an age where I thought, oh, I don't like that. My parents like that shit, so I don't want it.
My parents listen to cool music, but I did get into stuff that was just, one, worse, and it was bad music, and it's embarrassing now, but brings us together. And then just heavier stuff and weird stuff. I got really into electronic music of all kinds, from Radiohead to, Bass Nectar at the beginning anyway. Yeah. And that guy's whatever. But like when dubstep came out, I was a fan.
Right.
But how did you get into live performance? We saw that you were in a band with her name's Tara.
Yeah.
But was it before that? Did you play fiddle first, guitar?
Yes. Yeah, I picked up the fiddle when I was 8. I wanted to learn how to play old-time music, old-time fiddle. And so I was basically performing from the time I was 8, because there was a group led by the local fiddle instructor who I took lessons from, called the Junior Fiddlers.
Fiddlers, they missed an opportunity there.
Little Fiddler.
Little Fiddlers.
But we'd play for like county fairs, and we'd go out to, there was a hot springs close to Kalispell.
So you're like into it. Like you've just been live performance, like super ham your whole life, like me. Like you just been like, it's me. Hello, I'm on stage. It's very comfortable.
Yes. And then I started singing on stage and doing talent shows. I remember
some theater.
Oh yeah, definitely got into theater by the time I was in 5th or 6th grade.
I can tell.
Yeah.
All the theater kids, I can tell. I can just point them from a mile away. Be like, drama kid. Like,
we love to express.
I grew up with the theater, was a big part of my life. I was never in it in school. That was kind of a rebellion against what a lot of my family was into, which was theater. I was like, I'm not doing theater. I'm going to be in a rock band. And look at me now.
Right.
So I'm going to go to some questions from the audience. I wanted to say, Lisa said that Hans says to say hello. He's listening, but he's also working.
Hi.
So Lisa and Hans are saying
I miss
hello.
you too.
Let's see. Here's a good question. Is there an American snack or drink? This is from Olivia Quintanilla.
Oh, hi, Olivia.
Is there an American snack or drink that you miss that you cannot find in France?
There's a lot of things, actually.
Right. Top 3.
Right off the top of my head, ranch dressing.
Oh shit! I gotta bring my own ranch.
I did get some. Smiley Dave sent me some mix, the powdered mix, but
like American style, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually mixed it up yet, because you have to get sour cream, and I can't get sour cream here.
Just get creme fraiche instead.
Creme fraiche, yes. So that's
creme fraiche.
The to-do list. This is gonna sound terrible, but I was really craving Taco Bell the other day.
Taco Bell's good.
And I try and I make sometimes I'll have a craving for Asian flavors or Mexican flavors, and so I'll cook up a meal with those things. But it's just not the same.
Right. Okay. Let's see. What else we got here? So in that vein, what's something you miss the most about the United States? Obviously, not election time. You bailed on that. What a time that was around here. We won't talk about it. But what do you miss? What's good stuff?
I miss my friends. I really do. I miss actually the ease of doing things. For all of the wonderful things that I love about France, there are a lot of things they make really difficult that should be easy.
Like what?
The bureaucracy. Like
Yes, the red tape.
Yes, the red tape. Or I mean, I haven't even really dove in and started dealing with a lot of the paperwork. But for example, here's an announcement. I am technically married now.
Hey, that led me to another question. But
yes, I'm legally married. And the process to just get to go to the town hall and do our marriage, like, it required so much paperwork. It was ridiculous. I was like,
I feel like that makes sense. It's a little too easy to do a few things in the United States, and here's 3: getting married, 4: getting married, having a child, starting a business are all way too easy for how much trouble you can get in for doing it wrong.
Right.
And then obviously number 1 is getting a gun. It's
yes.
like in France, the gun laws are far more strict, I imagine.
They're really, really stringent here. Yeah.
Let's see. And then, so how's married life? The last question, what'd you miss? That was from Abizzle. And then how's married life is coming from Anonymous, but how is it?
Okay. It's wonderful. Like, we have a very little cozy existence here. I'm not working. And Q, who will remain partially anonymous because he's a little sensitive about social media.
People are private, so
yeah, he's private. He's a private person.
Q is a wonderful mystery.
It sounds very Bond, James Bond. Yeah. But he teaches 3 days a week, and so it's super chill. We make a lot of food. We go for walks in the woods. It's very calm, and honestly, it took me a good month and a half after I got here to let go of all of the American stress that was just
right. And I mean, some of the stress we feel in America is extremely justified and necessary to make the changes that have to happen. But there's also, I mean, there's the beast of consumer culture, a young country, all the things that go into it. Let's see. So married life's good. I have to say married life is good. It's work every day. It's not like, oh, you're so lucky you got married and then you've got it all figured out. Like, it's constant.
Yeah. I mean,
You all right?
I've learned that I have to work on my patience. Like, I tend to get more impatient faster than I realized in the past. And it's like kind of one of those things that you have to confront about yourself.
Right. And it's so easy with the people closest to you. You know what I mean? Because they're right there, ready to take the brunt of any mood.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then kind of moving forward. So we've been together for years. You joined up with the Smokin Joe team, I want to say like 2012?
It was pretty early in my time in Minnesota.
13, maybe. And then as soon as you were in. Like, it's like as soon as you started playing Smokin Joe, it's like, cool, well, we're getting in a van on Friday if you want to go.
Oh my gosh, I love
that. I don't know. Iowa, I guess. It's like the point of Scarp's tour was never the destination. It was always the journey of Scarp's.
Yeah, and you actually brought me to the day the music died.
The surf ballroom.
Yes, the surf ballroom, and like I remember we pulled up. I think I was actually sleeping or doing.
You were sleeping, and people
and you made it
really
special, Joe. That was so amazing. And you're like, Kerri, you got to get out. You're gonna want to see this.
Well, you cared, and I so didn't care. Like, I don't care. But I've been there so many. Like, I care about it, but I've been going there for a long time, and I played there too. So it's like, honestly, not a big show. It wasn't fancy, but I did technically with Dead Larry. But it's like, it was, those moments are everything. Like, the shows can be shitty, and you can like play to 12 people, and like your instrument never stays in tune for whatever reason, or your monitor's blown. But if like you have a good time in those small moments, like, that's life. Like, that's
absolutely. And for me, like, it was so cool just to be going on tour again. That's honestly where I love to be. I love to be on the road. I love to be on tour with my friends playing music, just like the Willie Nelson song,
So we're all going to have to meet up over there. You'll come back. We'll do a multinational tour, and then, but rolling into, I have people asking me already in the questions, do you have new music? What's up with your album?
Yes,
Tell the people.
and
Tell the people what's going on.
after much ado, and yes, it has taken me way too long, way too long. But my album, my first EP, and it's technically a solo EP, but I don't want to even say that because there were so many people that.
Right. My solo album, first one anyway, had 11 musicians than me.
Yeah. This I haven't counted. I think it's 5. But I'm releasing it March 27th. So
Hey! March 27th. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
What's it called?
It is called Stanzas for Music, named after one of the tracks.
Yep,
on the
I saw
album.
that. It's a great track. I picked my personal favorite. We're gonna do a basically like 2/3 of this long track. It's about 5 minutes, and I quickly put some royalty-free horse footage together with it.
Which looks amazing. Good job, Joe.
That's the imagery the song just calls for. I know you, so it's called. We'll get into that in a second, but before we get there, it's very exciting to have a new album. I'm glad that you're doing that.
Yes.
It's so important that even though you're in France, like you have lots of people here that they don't need to see you in person. They'd love to, but they want to support you in your music. So that's obvious from the turnout of this show here and all the questions. People like you and want to know what's going on. So is there anything else before we get into the live music part?
Sure.
You want to say or share with the people?
I just want to definitely give a shout out to Josh Parlanti. He co-produced this album with me. He has done so much incredible work, and I am just extremely blessed that he came onto the project and just boundless enthusiasm for my vision and understood it immediately. And then you can still pre-order, I think. You should be able to. If you go on my website, kerrijoy.com, there is, you can see, first of all, you can see the album artwork on the website now. And then there is a link where you can go on and pre-order. And I think a digital download is like $5. And for a physical copy, it's $10. So if you want to pre-order, there you go.
Do it.
Yeah.
On behalf of musicians far and wide, $5 or $10 means so much, and it is not a lot, people. Like, for real, I'm telling you right now, like these $5 for an album or $5 for a stream or whatever it is, like it really helps.
Absolutely.
It's so much different than nothing, and I mean it's so get, if you're gonna give it to me, save it, buy that buy that album, give it to me on Saturday.
Right.
And then I wanted to also say that Dee had a shout out saying that she wants to know when we're going to get another brilliant tune set on, or I don't know if that's supposed to say sunset or tune set on TikTok. What'd you do on TikTok?
Yeah, I do have a TikTok going now. It's still new. I'm just kind of having fun with it. I'm not taking it too seriously.
Please don't. It's the kids take it really seriously. We're just old and trying to figure it out.
But no, I'll be putting up, because it's, the longest you can do is 60 seconds. So I'll be throwing up some quick little tune sets and doing some other fun stuff.
Cool.
Tune set.
And thanks, Dee, for the question. Also, Sister Tree. I mean, it's what introduced me to your music and has been such a driving force in your life. It's like kind of your Dead Larry in a way. Absolutely. If I were to compare that partnership that you've had for so many years, is like it's more familial than it is musical. You know what I mean? The music happens eventually, but like it's all about the band. It's all about the people.
Yes, and I so miss Sister Tree. I miss you, Dee, and I miss our adventures on the road and going up the North Shore. And gosh, I wish I could be in 2 places at once.
Oh yeah, I wish we could be anywhere easily and safely, but wishes were fishes and all that good stuff. John, I know you are working on something right now, but do you have any questions you want to pop in?
Nope, I'm just excited to hear some music.
Cool.
Great.
All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is play this sneak peek from the new album, stanzas for what was it? Stanzas for music.
Stanzas for music.
For music. Okay. And the song that we're gonna play is called "The Cloud."
Yes, and I have to just give a little bit of background info. So I wrote the music for this, and then I adapted a poem by Percy Shelley called "The Cloud." So it's not the entire poem because that would make it like a half an hour long song. So it is an adapted poem, which I sent.
That's great. Oh, that's awesome. It's an amazing tune. Check out the horses, and we'll be back with some live music from Kerri right after this song.
Woo-hoo!
nursling of the sky. I pass through the pores of the oceans and shores. I change, but I cannot die. I am the daughter of earth and water, the nursling of the sky. I pass through the pores of the oceans and shores. I change, but I cannot die. Fresh showers for the thirsting flowers, for the seas and streams, the seas and streams. I bear light shade for the leaves when laid in their noonday dreams. But my wings are shaken, the dews that waken, the sweet buds
you've been in the garden among the giddy flowers. You've not been there, you're lying, Peggy. You've not been there, you're lying. Father saw you in Jamie's arms. My father saw me in Jamie's arms. He'll see me there again. For I will lie in Jamie's arms when his grave is growing green. Your Jamie is a road, Peggy, your Jamie is a road. But trusting the one daughter and her so very young. They not blame on Jamie, mother, while eyes on me. For I slept in Jamie's arms when your eyes could not see. She used to her power bomb and is waiting there for her. So glad to see you, Jamie. Cannot be no more. She takes the wine glass in her hand and pulls the green wine out. Says, I'm glad to see you, Jamie. We cannot be no more. She takes him in her arms and gives him kisses right. Says, I'm glad to see you, Jamie. I wish you'd find life. Rising night and day, that the middle striking night, in the woods you can't find me. Bells are rung and masses sung, and the men are bound for bed. Such a cute green dress rises from her head. Bells are rung and masses sung about the hour of two. It's up Joseph Boulder with Peggy is away. Go saddle me the black will saddle me the gray. Before they come to the top of the hill, Peggy is away. Go saddle me the black will saddle me the gray. But before they come to the top of the hill, Peggy is away.
Yay! All right. So that was a double feature of Kerri Joy music. One sneak peek of her new EP coming out, her new solo EP. She won't say it, but I happily will. Because it is, it's you. It's you on a plate. You know what I mean? That's what a solo album is. It's like, it's yours. The words are yours. It's like the choices are yours. You know what I mean?
Yes. Absolutely.
Ironically, in the Joe album that's coming out, as opposed to the 11 people I had on my first album, the first album I'm going to come out with as Smokin Joe, my second Smokin Joe album, is going to be 100% just me. Because of the pandemic and I got into producing and recording all by myself at home. I'm all the parts, all the mixing. I'm going to send it out to get mastered. But other than that, it's going to be 100% Joe. And I have more music
Can't
after
wait
that.
to hear that.
Right? So March 27th or 6th?
March 27th.
March 27th.
It should be Saturday, March 27th. Let me just double check because I can't trust myself. Yeah, Saturday, March 27th. We're going to do it.
Fantastic.
It's
Yeah.
almost ready to go. So
And if you we can work it out. We can make a little 1920 by 1080 picture, and we can put it on, the ad reel, and maybe get you some awareness of the new album. I know that my cohorts helped me out a lot when my album came out. We're like, buy the album, and it was great. Let's see. So next week we have Sam Licari coming on. You might know him from Irie Minds or just being an awesome dude dancing in the crowd. But he has a new project, speaking of solo projects, called Sam Licari and the Sweet Tease. That's right, Tease. And I'm going to find out next week. But we were talking backstage at Only Every Monday, and he was like, how should I word this? Like, should it be with a T? Should it be like tease? And I was like, dude, I think it was my idea. I don't know. I think Sweet Tease, like TEA, like as ooh, tease. I think that was me. But either that or I supported that idea, and I support him 100%. But I want to know.
We're gonna find out next week.
We're gonna find out next week. I'm not gonna ask him till then, but we're gonna find out. And thank you so much, Kerri, for joining us. Thank you all watching now and in the future. Thank you, John, for putting the show together. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Olivia Quintanilla for this brand new awesome shirt with Quark. Wanting everyone to just have a little hope. And I also wanted to make sure I told everyone, in case they were wondering, I'm not a cat. I'm a talk show host. I'm not a cat. I can't figure out how to... All right. That was something that will not hold up over the test of time, but hopefully got a few of you out there LOLing here in 2021. Any last
got
words?
me.
And that's what counts. If you can make your friends laugh that like are used to your shit, that's the good stuff. You know, it's like Kerri's new album that I've heard so far impressed the hell out of me, and it's hard to impress people that expect a lot from you. So, any other words of wisdom for the people before we go, Kerri? Otherwise, we will call it good.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, Joe, for having me, and John, thank you so much. I hope you all stay warm over there in Minnesota, and maybe I have a couple people here in France listening, and if so, thanks for staying up this late because it is 3:12 in the morning.
Merci, mon frère.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, mon frère. Je suis la jeune fille. Sorry, that's from a Muzzy commercial back in the 90s, and that's all the girl said. And I memorized the commercial, and I learned later that she was saying, "I'm a little girl," and that's what I know how to say.
Très bien.
Très bien. Oui, want. Anyway, thank you all so much. Play us out. See you next week.
Au revoir.
Because I'm with you through thick and thin. Whatever trouble you are in, I don't care whatever you do. Just know that I love you. Oh, oh, I love you. You know, sometimes you got troubles. So many troubles. They're getting you down. But you don't have to worry about your troubles no more, 'cause I'll always be around, because I'm with you through thick and thin. Whatever trouble you are in, I don't care whatever you do. Just know that I love you. Oh, whoa. I love you.